Okay. Oh. That's making way through. Hang on. Anybody recognise this? Yes. All right. Hands up who drives here or who commutes on a bus, I guess, yeah? Great, cool. So hands up, and be really honest now. Out of everybody in this room, I really want honesty now. Hands up when you see this. Are you really, really happy? Okay, I'll ask again. So imagine you're driving, you're on your way to work, you're on your way to an event, wherever it might be, and you see this, and you know it's going to add an extra bit of delay into your drive. Hands up if you're really, really annoyed. Yes, good, right. Good news, you're in great company, guys, because I'm going to help you out today. Because I believe that this is what we experience in life. We constantly will get lots of road closures and lots of obstacles in our life. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that life is pretty tough sometimes. Would you agree? A little bit warm, okay, that's cool, we'll warm you all up. So I do think that we have so many obstacles like this constantly in the road that are constantly affecting our thoughts and our feelings. But the best way that I would say that would describe life is by Andy Cope. Has anybody ever heard of Andy Cope and the Art of Being Brilliant? Just me, then that's fine, no worries, so cool. So Andy Cope has this great thing, an analogy that life is like going to IKEA on a busy Saturday afternoon and going round the opposite way. Pretty stressful, right? Could you imagine doing that, right? But anyway, today I'm going to share with you 3 simple things that will help you with your well-being today, to help you feel a little bit better. But first, I do need a very sophisticated and intelligent person to help me. So let me just scout. Okay, yes, hello there, hi. Would you just pass that to the lady there for me? Thank you very much. Thank you, cheers, thank you, yes. Sorry. Yes, so please, hello, what's your name there? Jackie, hello Jackie. Jackie, what's your role here?
I work in admin for rehab.
Oh, fantastic. Jackie, would you keep hold of that? Just hold it up and show it everyone, twizzle it around for everyone, and you can confirm that's sealed, yes?
Yes.
It is a little magical prediction. Don't open it, keep it nice and safe. Can I trust in Jackie, everybody?
Yeah.
Good.
Keep an eye on her.
All right, okay, thank you. You do that for me, thank you. So the real important thing here is that I want to share with you just a couple of simple tips, because life is tough. We've all got lots of things going on in our life, and I genuinely believe that we get so many of these in our life. But I'm going to share with you a couple of things that'll help you out. Now, Steph did mention that over the last 15 years, I've been an award-winning magician. I've been a speaker, a confidence coach, and depending on where you live, are you all based in Peterborough as well? No? Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm sure you may have come across some sort of digital Argos store in your journey somewhere. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I've got a staff survey up. Lovely, perfect. Well, one of the things I wanted to share with you was that if you've ever come across like a little tiny Argos digital store in your travels, it was likely that it was me and my team that opened that store up. Yeah, it's very exciting, isn't it? Thank you, yeah. Now, obviously, over the last 15 years, part of that was that I was really obsessed with the idea of why is it that some people are more successful than others? Why is it that some people are more happier than others? And why is it that some people can feel better just like that? And I thought, well, I'd try and have a look into this. Now, to explain this, because Steph mentioned this really, really well, obviously, over the last 15 years is what I've been doing, but you might think, we're going to go see a motivational speaker. Great, we're going to get some motivation. If you'd have seen me just a couple of years ago, I'll be really honest, you would have seen a real miserable bugger. Yeah. Now, I'm going to explain this to you because I don't know if anybody remembers, the last couple of years have been pretty intense. For me, just a couple of years ago, to kind of give you a bit of an idea, before I was doing this, I was obviously working in Argos. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Now, I know you're all working here, the CEO is here, so please say, yes, you are going to still continue to work here after today. But hands up, did anybody here know what you wanted to do when you left school? Oh, a few hands. And are you doing that role now? Oh, congratulations to you. Yeah, very, very good. Not many people I meet that actually answer that question, so thank you. Yeah, I didn't know, and I spent most of my life kind of coasting through the retail chain of the Argos world. So if you've been there, if you've been into the one in Peterborough, it's likely that I served you, okay, so if you ever went there. But one of the cool things I wanted to share with you was that during this whole process, I got a great opportunity to start working on the weekend. As I became a national trainer, I started working Monday to Friday, doing these wonderful things such as workshops and customer experience and lots of team culture things. And it opened up a gap on the weekend where I started to do magic. So I started to do magic on the weekend, magic in the evenings, and then Monday to Friday, living out of a suitcase, just opening up Argos stores all across the country. And I thought, this is really exciting. And my boss said to me, Ricky, I think next year we might all get made redundant. I went, brilliant, fantastic. Most people obviously probably wouldn't want that at all, right? But I said, fantastic, great, cool. And I said, because Sam, that's my boss, I said, Sam, I'm really, really important and really impressed with my business. It's been like building and building, and I think I might just go do that full time. She went, brilliant, Ricky. The new year come round, we go through that consultation period, and they said, yes, we no longer want the change trainers in our business anymore, which is ironic, I think, because it was a business that was going through the biggest people change program ever. Anyway, long story short, it was the year that I was going to get married. It was a massive year. I thought, I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to go fill my cup. I'm going to go out there and just be the best version of myself. I got made redundant 1 week before the national lockdown. Yeah. Even a mind reader couldn't have even predicted that, right, what would happen. However, here's the most important thing, and this is why I'm saying this. I'm not saying this to brag or anything like this. I'm just a normal, ordinary man that's from Whittlesea. So if you know Whittlesea, anybody? Yeah. Anybody want to raise their hand, say they are? Thank you, yes, good. Web feet, web fingers too? Oh, okay, perfect, that's fine. I am just an ordinary man, but I wanted to share with these things that I learned, because during that point, if you don't remember, there was a huge global pandemic in March, yeah. So obviously in 2020, huge thing. Going from a period of working into a career to literally overnight running the business. Ryan, who's obviously our camera guy, he works in the industry as well. Nobody was booking weddings. Nobody was booking private parties because we had no money. We couldn't go out. So I literally overnight went, what have I done? And I remember sitting in my dining room going, what on earth have you done? And obviously, this is obviously the Wellbeing Talk, and the reason I'm sharing this is because I was at my lowest. I remember crying in my dining room, saying to my now wife, like, what on earth have I done? Have I done a mistake? And all I was getting on the phone was refunds, cancellations, and people just not wanting to book a magician. And I thought, well, what do I do? And what do you do when you're at such a low point? You don't want to feel all happy and positive. And I know that we were all going through a difficult time, and there's plenty more, probably worse things than what I was going through. And if anybody knows my wife, she actually works here. Her name's Danielle Locke now, not Danielle Barnes. She's an OT. If you know Danielle, she's quite blunt. And when I sat in tears saying to her, I don't know what to do in my life, she said, go see a doctor then. Yeah, so you'll know, Steph. Very blunt, right? Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because I discovered in that low point when there was no magic, there was nothing, I was completely blaming the world, I was blaming everyone, and I was not taking any responsibility for what I could actually do. And I stumbled across an idea by Jack Canfield. Anybody in this room into personal development at all? Oh, a couple of you, thank you. Anybody heard of Jack Canfield from the hands there? Steph has, perfect. Steph, who is Jack Canfield?
I say that, but I've heard of him from your podcast.
Oh, thank you very much, thank you, yes. Thank you. I will pay you later, thank you for that plug, yes. You might hear that quite a few times today. Anyway, Jack Canfield, he's an author. He has a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. There's millions and millions of books now, I think, worldwide. Lots of wonderful stories of kindness and positivity. But he spent most of his time trying to understand, why are people successful? Why are people happy? And he came down to this formula, which I'm going to share with you today, which is this. E plus R equals O. Can anybody take a guess of what they think this might stand for? Be brave. No, it's okay, I'll let you. So E stands for the event, the R stands for the response, and the O equals the outcome. So whatever the event is, plus your response to that event, equals the outcome. So thinking about me, I spent like a couple of months in lockdown going, what am I going to do with my life? I've got no money. I've just left my job. I got made redundant, but I had to pay for my mortgage. I got no help from the government. I was just blaming the world. So therefore, my outcome was that I was pretty depressed Ricky, really. I wasn't very happy. If you'd invited me to do a talk that week online, I wouldn't have done it because I was miserable. But as Jack says, the key thing here is to understand that whatever the event is in your life, plus your response will determine that outcome. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this, but does anybody know the equation for what life is? Okay, life is 10% of what happens to you, and 90% is how you respond to it. For me, all I had to do was change this to determine the outcome. So there are only 3 R's that we have any control of in our, hello, yeah, come on in, hello, come on in, yeah, come on. Join us if you like. There's only 3 R's that we have any control of in our life. Does anybody want to take a guess what you think this might be? There is a hint, by the way, and I love this. Thank you, Steph, for pointing this out. It is this. This is downstairs for the mental health day. Anybody see this? This is a wonderful thing. It says, if you can't change it, change the way that you think about it. So there are only 3 responses that we have any control of, and that's our thoughts, the stories that we tell ourselves. So if you does anybody talk to themselves in this room? You can be honest, don't worry. Yes, yeah, we all do, don't we, right? The stories that we tell ourselves and our behaviour. But I seem to believe that for me, was a massive road close. I was planning to have the biggest year of my life. There was 50 weddings in the diary, gone overnight, pardon the pun, it disappeared. And then I was supposed to get married as well. Now, I know I'm speaking from a very privileged position, but that's a huge road closure that affected my mental health, right? But I want to share with you the belief that I genuinely believe these are great things for us. Like I said earlier on about being happy, I believe that there's something magical about the uncertainty, and I'd like to demonstrate this with you. Now, I need some help here from the audience, so if you can, pop your hands up like this for me, just so I can see. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Go like this, turn. Perfect, good. Yeah, that. Yeah. No, I'm joking. We're not doing that. No, sorry, no. You don't want that. No, sorry. But actually, yeah, just go like this. I just want to come out and let's see. Okay, interesting. Lovely. I'm going to go down that light. It's too bright. Let's see. Hello, yes. What's your name? Alex, stay there. Alex, there's a lovely ring there. I should say I'm a pickpocket as well. But does that ring come off, Alex?
Yeah.
It does. Keep that there. Okay, perfect. Yes, Suzanne. And does that ring come off? Is that your wedding ring?
No.
No? Oh, is it like a special ring? What ring is it?
It was just given by a very good friend.
Am I allowed to borrow it? Would that be okay? Suzanne and Alex, would you mind joining me up on stage? And everybody, give them a round of applause as they do, please. Thank you. Oh. Steph, is there any way I can have that off? Is that at all, if possible?
Yes, I would.
Just don't want to blind you two. Come over here, out of the light, just so we don't blind you. Just watch out for the trapdoor. No, I'm joking. So Suzanne and Alex, yes, are you friends?
My boss.
Oh, okay. That's good. Perfect. Cool. That's a good sign. Well, we're going to test this out. I think what we'll do, because of the light, we'll come back down here. Apologies, ladies. Suzanne, you can go on to my left for me.
Yep.
And Alex, you're on my right. So here's the thing. We're going to do an observations test. So I'd like to prove this with you. Would you all say that you are particularly sharp and observant today? No, I just saw you. No, Ricky. We're on our lunch watching you. Right. No, anyway, here's the thing. Suzanne, grab that bit for me.
Yep.
Would you grab that bit for me? And what is that?
A shoelace.
It is a shoelace. Yes, well done. There's no trick questions here. Sorry, yes, it is a shoelace. Perfect. Now, would it be okay to borrow that ring from you if it comes off? Is that okay?
Yep.
Thank you very much. So, Suzanne, just so we can see this, is it like a special gem?
It's an emerald.
Elizabeth Duke? Do you remember that? That's for us oldies here. Remember Argos days. Sorry. Anyway, here we go. Can you see this? I'm going to take this from you. Thank you. I'm going to take this from you. This is a little observations test so you can see this. Okay. Can everybody see that? And at the back there, can you see that as well, guys? Perfect. Here we go. Let me try. So, Steph, because you're there, Steph, I know that you're my friend, but can you confirm you have no idea what we're about to do? I didn't secretly pay you in the toilets earlier on when I saw you, right now? Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks. All right, Steph, just for you, can you see that's all the way through there? Thank you, Alex, as well. Thank you, yes. And everyone at the back, just see that as well, yeah? Now, let's test this out for you. Alex, are you right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Hold your left hand out flat like a table. Perfect, that's really good. Suzanne, hold your right hand out for me. Here we go. Grab that bit there for me. Yes, and on 3, pull. 1, 2, 3, pull. Oh, it comes through. I think you've got a hole in your ring. Have you still got the receipt for it? No. That's fine, don't worry, Suzanne. Anyway, let's try this again. This time, Suzanne, would you mind picking somebody in this room that you trust?
Oh, that's it. I'm gonna go for my boss as we're playing the boss game.
Very good, yes. And this man here, hello sir, what's your name?
I'm James.
James, you get to choose this time. As we've got the ring here, would you like Suzanne to use her left or her right hand? Okay, grab the bottom string for me, and on 3, gently pull. 1, 2, 3, pull. That's good, thanks Suzanne. That's good, very. That's the easy bit. The hard bit's getting it back on. 1, 2, 3. And you see it comes back through. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Best reaction I've had all year. Thank you. Yeah, cool. Steph, whilst you're there, would you place your right hand out like this for me? Every time I give you, turn it over for me. Every time I give you the ring, it jumps on the string there. But this is called the sober test. Now, I appreciate you're all at work and you're in the medical industry, so hopefully you are all sober. Okay, now, anyway, here's the thing. This is what we're going to try and do this time. As we can see, can you see, and Steph, you can help me out here as well. What I'd like you to do is grab that bit for me there.
Yeah.
Let's come over here. Grab that bit for me. On 3, you're going to gently pull. Ready? Actually, hello, what's your name?
Bethan.
Could you snap your fingers nice and sassy for me when they pull? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, it's gone. Now, here's the really important thing. Do you see where it went, Suzanne? This lady there, hello, what's your name? Colette, would you stand up for me? You're wearing a hoodie, aren't you?
Yes.
You know we met earlier on?
Yes.
Would you mind just looking in your right zip-up pocket? Have a look, what have you got? Oh, is it in your trousers? No, I'm joking, that would be really amazing. I can't, sorry, sit down. Colette, sit down, I'm so sorry. Yes, no, of course not. Sorry, I can't say that. Alex, you can take a seat, round of applause. Suzanne, you take a seat. It's been lovely to see you, thank you. No, Suzanne, come back. Suzanne, come back. Sorry, I'm joking, sorry. Suzanne, I tell you what, don't panic. The ring has disappeared, but not very far, all right? Suzanne, if you can guess the number, oh, sorry, Steph, you can put your hand down. Sorry, Steph. If you can guess the number I'm thinking of between 1 and 10,
I can get my ring back.
you'll win the ring back. But to make it even better, you're going to pick somebody to win that ring for you. Who would you like in this room?
Oh, I'm going to go for Eddie. He
Eddie?
caught my eye.
Where's Eddie?
as I looked
Hello,
round.
Eddie. Eddie, it's up to you. Eddie,
Eddie.
up to you, buddy. Oh, number 7. It was so close, it was 6. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, Eddie. No, I'll tell you what, Suzanne, there's some real magic here. As I was mentioning, this whole concept is about these things here. Now, in a magic trick, it's a little bit more fun, maybe because the risk is a little bit different. Was the ring expensive?
I don't know. It was a gift.
And where do you live?
Market Harbour.
Oh, do you know Bourne?
No.
Okay, it's not far from Market Harbour. If you go to 3 Kestrel Drive tonight, knock on the door and say, is Ricky there? The ring will be there for you. But no, anyway, here's the thing. Do you have any allergies?
No.
May I give you a souvenir that would be to the same price as your ring?
No.
Okay. Would you hold your hands out like this for me? That's fine, that's fine. I will give you something that I hope you like. Obviously, we've brought some sweets in here, haven't you, right? I've got this pack of Haribo here. It's a Haribo Star Mix. You might see something in there, Suzanne. Can you see there's something in there?
Oh my God.
And just so everyone can see that, there is something shiny and gold. Now, just to feel, make sure, yeah, that's sealed in there, yeah?
Yeah.
And just so you can see, it's at the back there is a shiny gold. Steph, you can confirm?
I can confirm.
Hold your hands out like this for me. You're not a vegetarian or allergies or anything like that? Okay, of course, fine. If I open this up, split this up, I'm going to open this into your hand. And if you can, in a loud speaking voice, confirm to everybody, is that your ring?
That's my ring.
It is, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. For Suzanne, thank you. And the sweets are yours as well. Thank you. Round of applause. Thank you. Wow, thanks, Suzanne. So they are sweets. Please feel free to pass them around. They're not just for you as well, okay? Thank you. Anyway, there's a point for doing this, sorry. This is exactly what happens. So for me, I generally believe that life is not meant to go the way it's meant to be. And it can be quite crap sometimes, right? It can all go wrong. When that happened, there was kind of like, oh, my ring's gone. It's probably going to reappear because that's what we associate with magic, right? So there's something fun about it. But we don't look at that in the same way when things happen like this. So I'm going to continue this idea with this whole thing here. Now, be honest here. Who believes that they have incredibly bad luck? Like always things happen to them. That's just me then. Oh, Caroline as well, just for you, right? Now I'm going to share something with you. Here's a quick question. What is this, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry, say again. What was that? It is a table. Yes, there's no trick question. Sorry, yes, it is a table. Sorry. There is a reason there is a table here. Sorry. It's all magic, isn't it? It's all thinking like it's tricks. It's not. There's a reason that I've got this here because it's a metaphor. The reason I want to say this is because a lot of our well-being is about taking responsibility. We do have to take responsibility for the things that happen in our lives. As it says on there, if you can't change it, change how you think about it. Changing my response led me to do something quite magical and wonderful that I might share with you later on, as Steph mentioned, in the Confident Club. I basically just sent a voice note on LinkedIn to one of my favourite authors to say, I really love you. I think you're awesome. Can you come on my podcast? And he said, yes. And we're now working together. And that's just because of that massive road closure. Something else magical came along. However, this is a concept. Who's ever said to themselves, I'm too fat, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough money, I'll never be able to do that. Those kind of beliefs. Anybody ever had that self-negative talk before? Thank you. Yeah, thanks. This is a real cool concept that I'd like to share about beliefs. Now, quite often, I mentioned earlier on, the 3 responses that we have any control of in our life is our thoughts, the stories that we tell ourselves, and our behaviour. Quite often, our beliefs drive our behaviour. But this is a really good example, and I hope that this will then help you to rewrite some of your beliefs. So for those of you at the back, I won't get you to share that, but you also put your hand up to say, yeah, I do have some negative, like self-talk, that kind of thing, beliefs, right? This is a concept. Now, I have to be careful here. Spoiler alert. Is there anyone here that has kids in the room? Cool. Was anybody else a kid once? Yeah, most of us. Good, good. The reason I'm sharing this is because it's that time of the year, December, where some of us might want to buy some presents. Spoiler alert, I'm going to share something about Santa Claus. Does anybody need to leave the room? Okay. For those of you who has kids, raise your hand again. Let me know who was it. Yeah, sorry, what's your name? Emma. Emma, how old's your children, if that's all right? Oh, fantastic. Still believes in Santa Claus? Brilliant. And do you believe in Santa Claus, sorry? Good, 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 yeah, perfect. There's a really cool metaphor at this table. The top of the table is what we call the belief. That's the certainty. And the legs is what supports that. That's your reference points. Santa Claus is the belief. We believe in Father Christmas. Why do we believe in Father Christmas? Tell me, why does your children believe in Santa Claus? Yeah, he wants to get lots of presents, yeah. Maybe in the playground, his friends say, did Father Christmas come? Yeah, he did, yeah. Was you a good boy this year? Yes, I was. I got some presents under my tree. Was you a good little girl this year? No, I got some coal, right? These little things happen and they form our reference points, right? Santa Claus, on the 25th of December, presents, one leg of that table to support that belief is presents appear magically underneath the tree. Another leg of that table would be parents buying things. If you're going to be good, you're going to get a nice Christmas gift. Or in my occasion, be going through the Argos catalogue, getting discount, whatever it might be. Another leg might be that all my friends were saying that they got gifts. So that forms the belief. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, when you obviously find out that it's not real, it shatters you, right? Because that became a belief. But you can believe in something that is real or not real. You decide that on yourself. I used to believe that I have incredibly bad luck. Now, Steph will know this story. I used to genuinely believe that I have really, really bad luck when I travel abroad. Now, Steph will know this quite well. For some reason, I don't know if anybody works with my wife here, we have really, really bad luck when we go abroad. And for some reason, I formed a massive belief in my head that the P word was forming those beliefs. So, when we went to Peru, we went to Machu Picchu. Has anybody ever wanted to do that before? Highly worth doing it if you've not done it. We climbed it. We spent like 4 days in the Peruvian jungle. It was fantastic. Young and naive, missed a connecting flight coming home, and we had to pay £3,000 to get home. Yeah, I know, that was my face, sir, as well. Yeah, terrible, right? Young and naive. However, didn't know what to do, so we just paid it and got home, right? Went to Pisa, missed a connecting flight. I was performing at the time, and I had to get back the next day. Literally got back with the skin of my teeth about an hour just before the actual wedding, just made it in time. Ryanair is probably the result of this, I should say, actually, sorry. There are other flights as well, recommended. Another leg of that table that supported that was Portugal. Went out to my friend's wedding, huge hurricane, ripped off the actual roof of the wedding venue. I don't know what that says about the couple. That's pretty bad omen, I would say, right? Ripped off the roof, right? And that meant it destroyed most of Portugal, which meant that we couldn't obviously actually get home. So we had to get another flight because Ryanair cancelled our flight again. So we travelled up the other side of Portugal, got a hire car, thought we've got a couple of hours free. Why don't we go see a museum? We came back to the hire car and the rear windows were smashed in and my friend's suitcases were stolen. This is why my friends don't travel with me anymore. But anyway, this can dangerously form a belief in my head that I have bad luck. So to the point that my mum says, oh, Rick, you're not going abroad again, are you? Are you going on holiday? No, Rick, why don't you just stay in the UK, right? But I don't believe in that. That's just a belief that I formed in my head. And this happens with us when we say, I'm not good enough. Something might happen, like an obstacle on the road, that will affect us, and that forms a belief. But I'm going to show you that you can change the reference points of that. To me, those 4 legs, Pisa, Portugal, whatever, and most recently, as Steph will know, the P word is Paris and paddleboarding. I was very lucky to get married after a huge, 4 years waiting, 2 years postponement, got married and very lucky, very grateful for this, went to Mauritius. 2 days in, we're laughing, saying, ha ha ha, the P word. We're not in anywhere that P word, it's going to be great. 2 days in, we go paddleboarding. And it's quite difficult. Anybody ever paddleboard before? It's quite difficult, isn't it? And I'm quite a big guy. I'm almost like 17 stone. I know I don't look like it. Thank you very much. That's my kind. But on your knees, it's fine. But standing up, I just couldn't get it. And I wobbled, I fell off, I lost my prescriptive glasses. I was more gutted about that, to be honest, than anything else. But on a paddleboard, there's a little thing that ties around to keep it there. I think because I'm so heavy, as soon as I went in the water, it just came straight at me. The fin sliced my ear. I forgot to mention that I went out with a bad ear anyway, and the impact was so loud, and there was blood everywhere. I'm screaming. Everyone's standing up on the beach going, oh my God, is it a shark? That kind of thing, right? And I'm going, oh my God. And they said, oh, we're going to have to get you to A&E. I went, great. The other thing I didn't tell you was we went to Mexico a couple of years ago as well. Now, not a P word, but I had my appendix removed in Mexico. Yeah. P, I think, is an appendix, so we'll go for that. Anyway, to me, I thought, this isn't very good, is it? Now, we were just laughing about it because the thing I'm going to show you in a second, there's a belief that you can choose to believe it or not. But there is a word in this. Can anybody see the word that's in the middle of that word at all? Lie, yeah. Beliefs are just lies that we tell ourselves, and it's whether we choose to believe it or not. I don't believe that I have bad luck abroad. I don't believe that the P word, although coming back from Mauritius, they cancelled our flight because Paris was having strikes. Yeah. But I don't believe in that. It was just generally like some really bad, unlucky outcomes. Quite a lot follows me around. But we have to think about this, and the way to do this is change the legs of that. So if you do have a belief, like a negative self-belief or a limiting belief that you're not good enough, you'll never be able to do that, I'll never be able to get that job, I won't have that pay rise, whatever, you just need to change the legs, your reference points. Find out, are they true? And if not, you make a bigger table or just change the legs of your table. But I'm going to share this with you. So I'll show you a quick story. 1855, a young man, about 5 years old, called Thomas. He comes home from school with a letter, and he's sitting there really sad, really worried what his mum's going to say. And his mum goes, Thomas, what's this letter? And he gives the letter to his mum, and she opens it up and goes, oh, okay. And it says, to the parents of Thomas, your son is a genius. He is too clever for our school. We therefore no longer can actually cater for him. You're going to have to teach him at home. Yours sincerely, the headmaster. Wow. So she thought, wow, that's amazing. And she then teaches him at home. 50 years later, so that's 1905, I think if I've got my maths right, Thomas, who's an older gentleman now, he's sitting in his study and he's going through some old papers and he finds that letter from when he was just a young man. And he pulls it out and it says from the headmaster, it says to the parents of Thomas. He pulls it out and he reads it and it says, to the parents of Thomas, your son is addled. He is stupid. He's an embarrassment to our school. We no longer want him in our school. We're kicking him out. You have to teach him at home. How weird is that, right? Now, can anybody guess who you think Thomas might be? Very good. Who is that? Yeah, very good. Thomas Edison. So we wouldn't be in this room with these lights on without Thomas Edison, right? But how wonderful is that? Because of a belief that his mum chose to install in him by reframing something. If she'd have read that letter out in the right way, would we have been here today? Probably not. We probably wouldn't have all these wonderful things that he created, but because they conditioned it. Now, there's lots of other things that drives behaviour, conditions. I used to have a really, really bad belief before I started learning all this stuff, was that I was too small to do anything big. Me doing something like this, going to Peru, doing podcasts, doing the Confident Club, would none of that, because I grew up in a very small-minded place that was very much a case of you go to work, you leave, you get married, and that's it. There's nothing bigger than that. So anytime I would do something big like this, it was always shut down. And that's no offence to my mum and dad at all. Again, it's just the beliefs that they have. However, I'd like to demonstrate this. May I borrow someone? Let's see. Can I have a volunteer, please? Everybody put your hands up at once. Good. Let's see. I'm going to pick somebody then. Steph, I'll do this for you, Steph. Steph, give Steph a round of applause. Steph, would you stand up here for me, please? Thank you very much. Good to see you. Steph, just to try this out, Steph, we've not set this up at all, you've got no idea. Stand next to me just on the right here. I'm going to prove to you how this drives behaviour, those beliefs that we kind of form in our mind because of all the things that we do in our physiology as well. So, Steph, very simple, stand like where you are, put your left arm out like this for me, nice and straight, and can you think of something that is true about you? So it could just be, hi, my name is Steph, okay? So, or my name is Steph, is that okay?
Yeah.
So Steph, what I'd like you to do is to keep saying that out loud over and over, and as you do, real resist this arm, and I'm going to try and push down on your arm, but I want you to really strengthen it up and resist it. So resist me trying to push down, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
So say it.
My name is Steph.
And again.
My name is Steph. My name is Steph.
Okay, resist, really resist.
My name is Steph.
Harder.
My name is Steph. My name is Steph.
Okay, perfect, cool. Okay, is that all right? Didn't
Yeah.
hurt? Cool, perfect,
Yeah.
okay. So you can see there, great, strong physiology there, good. Now we'll do the opposite. Now I'd like you to think of something that maybe a memory, without going too deep, we haven't got time for that today, but if you could think of something like maybe someone betrayed you or someone upset you or someone told you that you weren't good enough, like a belief that is kind of a limiting belief that might be with you now, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah? So think of that for me.
Okay.
Put your arm out for me, nice and straight. Think of that like negative thought, maybe someone betrayed you or anything like that. Get ready to resist. Okay, ready? Arm out again.
Oh, I thought you were doing it then.
No, it's all right, arm out again, ready? So think of that negative thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, ready? And can you see, ladies and gentlemen, the arm movement like that? So now we'll go back to the other thing. Think of something really positive, that's something true. Maybe it's something you really want to do. I want to be a successful whatever it might be. Got something in your mind? What's that then?
I'm going to Canada soon.
Oh, amazing, cool, brilliant. So think of that and say, I'm going to Canada soon.
I'm going to Canada soon.
Resist.
I'm going to Canada soon. I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Canada.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Steph. Take a seat. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Steph. It's just a short example there, but could you see the difference in physiology there just by saying something really positive, how that affects your physiology? Most of the time when you think of, like, if you're feeling down and that, our physiology is this. So obviously depression, we often say that people are like head down, that kind of thing. If you've ever seen any football fans in the room, doesn't matter if you're not, but at the end of the game, if they've lost, you know what most people say? Their heads have gone down. They do this, don't they? The physiology, right? But if you can just program yourself with what you're thinking with those beliefs. When I had my ear sliced off, almost, it's healed pretty well actually. I went, how amazing is this? How cool is this? I'm getting to go to a Mauritius A&E. How wicked is that? For everybody else, like my mum, it'd be like, oh my God, Rick, you stupid idiot. What have you done? Oh my God, ring me as soon as it's done right. But I'll share this with you because the next thing with this one is the third tool. Obviously, we've got taking responsibility is this. Does anybody know what NLP stands for at all? It's a bit of a yeah, cool. It means now let's play. That's what I think of it. Thank you, yeah. But there's a presupposition. A presupposition in NLP, if you don't know what it is, it's neuro-linguistic program. It's about how we think about things. And it's basically a set of tools that can help you feel better. There's a really interesting presupposition, which is this. There is no such thing as failure. There are only outcomes. For me, when obviously I had my ear sliced off, cancelled flight, Paris, I went, how awesome. I get another day on my honeymoon. Not like, oh my God, when are we going to get back to the UK? Oh my God, I've got to get home to work, that kind of thing. How cool. Quite often, we will associate things that happen to us and we'll label them as a failure because of something. I decided earlier on this year to relaunch my podcast. Have I mentioned I've got a podcast? No, it's on that board, by the way, yeah. I mentioned on the podcast about I'm going to relaunch it. My goal is to get this podcast into the top 10 of the UK Apple podcast charts. Not as a vanity metric, but that was purely because I wanted my stories to be shared because there were some wonderful guests that came on and I thought they deserved to be shared across the world. I did a big relaunch, got everyone to help me out, and it got to 67. To some people, they would say, well, you failed, Ricky. You didn't do it, did you? You didn't get that goal, did you? And I went, how fascinating. Got 67. 67 out of the whole of the UK. Amazing. And also the really cool thing was it actually appeared in a second chart. I've obviously got self-improvement as the main podcast chart, but the second one was education. I got into the top 150 of the world. And number one is Jordan B. Peterson. So I don't know if you know him. He's quite a confrontational guy, whether you believe him or not. And I was like, how wicked is that? I'm in the same league as Jordan B. Peterson. It moved to about top 300 literally a week later. But anyway, to me, that's not a failure. But we often associate these labels to us because of these things that are happening. And actually, they're just outcomes, right? The outcomes that I had, obviously, in 2020, it was just an outcome. It wasn't the desired thing. But actually what happened was something magical happened from it. Because of my job, I get to interview a lot of people. I got to meet Dwayne Chambers earlier on this year, who's just a fascinating, cool dude. He's such an awesome guy. He's taller than me. I was really intimidated by him. He's such a really nice guy. And I was chatting to him about, how do you deal with that pressure, when you're coming out on stage, when you're coming out on the track. And he was talking to me about all these wonderful things like him and being in the same room with Linford Christie and Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt doesn't walk out onto the track and go, oh, I might be all right today. Oh, it should be all right. No, he comes out and goes, I've got this. I've absolutely got this. And he starts doing all that, right? And this is the same thing about programming what you're doing with how you think and how you behave. A lot of professional speakers, they come out and when they do talks and presentations, this sounds really strange, but bear with me. But they say, I own this room. Your ass is mine. Now that's just something to program rather than, oh, I hope it's all right. I hope people turn up. I hope I'm going to be okay. I hope I don't get nervous. There's none of that because we're changing it. Because whatever happens, if I'd have came out here and it was a complete mess up, there's two things here that's the answer to this. So rather than there's no such thing as failure or any outcomes, you either succeed or you learn. That's it. There's no failure. I generally think there's something bigger than this, that kids need to learn this as well. And I think, I definitely with my little daughter, I'll be teaching these kind of things to her as well, because we just associate too much with this. But two guests, this is what I wanted to say. Steve Judge, great guy. This is on my podcast if you want to go check it out. It's episode 83, I think. Steve Judge, in his late 20s, driving around in Sheffield, skidded on a bit of like ice. It was like cold January. Completely destroyed his leg. He had, I think if I said this right, Danielle always tells me off for this, Ilizarov cage, I think that's right, yes, Ilizarov cage. He had to grow his leg back because his leg, because of the crash, was shorter. He had to physically grow his leg back. And he was told that he would never walk again. Steve Judge went on to become a para-triathlete for Great Britain and a world champion. And when I said to him, how do you do that when something so bad like that happens in your life? And he said the exact same thing to me. There's no such thing as failure. There was just an outcome, Ricky, that I didn't want, but I've done something about it. Madeline Black, she came on my podcast as well. I think that's episode 73. I'm not sure on that one. I will come back to that one. This one, Madeline, I found this one real difficult podcast. It's a really great episode. Madeline Black, unfortunately, when she was 13, she was violently gang raped. She was raped another couple of times by the time she was 18. And horrible thing that she had this belief and labels that, all men were evil. And she overcome that. And I said to her, how do you do that? How do you even program your mind to do that? And she said, well, I'm not labeling it as a failure. It was a terrible outcome, Ricky. But we're not defined by what knocks us down. We're defined by what we do about that. And she's now this international speaker that's helping women to speak up about these, awful things. And it's just because of how we choose to look at it. And I appreciate my privileged life, what I've been sharing about these wonderful things. They're not as, catastrophic as these horrible things that some of these people are going on. But there's a reminder that I would like to share this with you, which is this. I don't know if anybody actually plays the lottery at all. Anybody play the lottery? You would recognise this, right? I'd like for you to think, and just to entertain you for a minute, I'd like for you to think back to your parents conceiving you. Ugh. All right, no, joking. Horrible, right? However, the thing I wanted to say was that if you think about your dad and your mum, that sounds just wrong, doesn't it? Yeah. But that little worm, you didn't have your dinner, sorry, yeah. I'll move on from it, yeah. But the chances of you being born, I don't even know what the facts are. It's millions and millions and that, right? But the chance of you being here is what Andy Cope describes in The Art of Being Brilliant is the life lottery. So everything is a bonus. And that's exactly what I did in 2020, was I realised, I didn't tell you this, but in 2020 my uncle also died of Parkinson's. Because of lockdown, I didn't get a chance to actually be with him. And I realised at this point, while I'm moaning about things that are so insignificant, like my mortgage, how am I going to get money? I've got no work, I'm not filling my cup, I'm not getting my ego stroked anymore because I'm not performing and I'm not on stage anymore. All the time when he had gone, I realised that he would rather swap with me to still be here today. And that is the gift that we need to think about. I don't know if you know this, but on average, there are 4,000 weeks in an average lifespan of a human. Some of us in this room have less, some have maybe more, or maybe we've used up more. So when we think about these things of taking responsibility, failure, that kind of thing, how many more do we want to give up worrying about those things that we cannot control? I spent a year of it worrying about those things I just cannot control. And then I decided to think of what's important, and then magically something happened. But there is something beautiful about this, and my challenge to you would be, what if you were to, take more responsibility, maybe more than you're doing, about how you respond to life's opportunities and events? What would happen if you were to rewrite some of those limiting beliefs that you have by checking your reference points? Are they true? Doing something different? And also, what would happen if you was to relabel some of those things that happen in your life? What would it do to your well-being, your success, your work? What's a choice? And I thought I'd share one last thing as a fun thing. I'd like you all to get involved with this. Have you all got phones with you? Awesome. Get your phones out. If you've got a calculator on your phone, everybody get your phones out. We're going to do something real fun. Yeah, sure, yeah. If you're joining in, hold up your calculator just so I can see what's going on. Lovely. Yeah, hold them nice and high. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cool. Bet you didn't think you'd be doing maths today, did you? Yeah, thank you. All right, so we're going to try and make a really random connection. I want to give you something special to end the wellbeing talk, so you can go, wow, that was amazing. Steph, would you mind picking somebody from the room, whoever you like?
Julie.
Where's Julie? Give me a wave, Julie. Hello, Julie. Julie, could you give me the first number? The first number is going to signify like a date. We're going to do like a date, like a month and a year, that kind of thing. Could you give me a number between 1 and 31, please?
28.
Why 28?
Day I got married.
Oh, congratulations, brilliant. 28, everybody put 28 into your phones and then press times for me. Okay, brilliant. Julie, you get to pick somebody else for me. Who would you like?
Mel.
Where's Mel? Give me a wave, Mel. Hello, Mel. Mel, can you give me a month? Preferably not January because it would just keep the number the same. What would you like? February, perfect. Good month. That's my birthday month, actually. February is the second month. Times it by 2, everybody. And then press times for me. Steph, I'm going to come back to you. Because you helped to organise this, I'd like to do this for you. Could you give me a year that means something to you? Anything you like?
91,
1991. And why 1991?
because that's when I was born.
Fantastic, brilliant. Everybody, times it, if you're all on 56, times it by 1991. That's 1991. Press equals for me. Hold up your phones. Hopefully we're all on the same number. Great, cool. Press plus for me. I'm going to do this bit first. I'm going to turn the phone towards me. I'm going to punch in some numbers randomly. Whatever numbers are punched in, I'm going to read out to you, add it to your phone, and then we're going to make something special. We'll all press equals together. Okay, hang on. Hopefully I don't do what I did last week at a wedding with Ryan and delete this. It was pretty embarrassing. Okay, cool. So we've got 6 digits here. I'm going to read this out to you. Add this to your phones, and then we'll all press equals together. Okay? 709632. 709632. Press equals for me. Hopefully, are we all on 821128?
Yeah.
Lovely. Does this number mean anything to anybody at all? It's not like someone's employee ID number at all, anything like that, no? Okay. Is it Jackie, wasn't it? Jackie, you've been holding on to something lovely and special there, haven't you? Jackie, would you mind if I take that for you? Steph, would you mind coming up onto the stage? Give Steph a round of applause. She's done a wonderful thing this week. Thanks, Steph. Come on. Open it up for me. And Steph, in your loudest speaking voice to the room, would you read out the message? But before you do, I want to say thank you very much. I'm going to leave with a message in a second. But I did want to say thank you so much for being. It's been an absolute pleasure. But I wanted to make something special for us all. So, Steph, read out. What does it say?
It says it's unbelievable that the number will be 821128. Love, Ricky.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Random connection. Is that all of us together? Yes, thank you. Thanks, Steph. Thank you. Thanks, Steph. Good luck. Stay there, Steph. So my message is to you, what would you do today to think about what you're going to do to take more responsibility? So are we going to stop blaming and complaining, and actually we can do some things, we can change what we do, we can change what we think about things, rewrite those beliefs, think about those labels that we assign to ourselves. What would that do to your well-being? And like I said earlier on, you're going to get hundreds of these every single day. You might even get one on the way home tonight, I do apologise. But I'm hoping that will be an anchor for you to think about, that maybe it could be quite beautiful. I've definitely had huge road closed for me over the last couple of years, but there's been something magical and beautiful about it by looking at things in a different way, because there is magic in front of our eyes all the time. And you might not have noticed this, but I've talked about this all day, about this belief, about rewriting beliefs. And sometimes road things, they get stuck in our way. If you want to, you have to choose to respond in a different way. And if we look at it in this light, if we use our imagination, we turn it this way, you'll actually see that it actually says 821128, which has been staring at us in our faces the whole time. And it's to prove the point that you will get hundreds of roadblocks and things that go wrong, but there are things that you can do to change your own well-being, to change how you feel. I guess you just need to look for that magic and choose how to look at it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have got 5 minutes for Q&A, so you're more than welcome. Got 5 minutes for Q&A if you'd like to ask some questions, have a chat, up to you. Anyone got any questions that they'd like to ask? Yeah, Caroline, thank you.
Is your wife a positive person?
She's all right. She is. Yeah, she is lovely. Yeah, she's an OT, works here as well. I think she's got more positive being with me. No, she's very lovely. Yeah, she is. She'll hate me saying this. So if you ever see her or meet her, don't tell her this. She hates it. I often describe our relationship as the kite and the string. I'm this like big blue sky thinker, and she's the anchor that pulls me down the string. She hates that reference, I tell you. But it keeps me grounded. So very positive, grounding person. But yeah, thank you. Who's that? Where's that? I left it in the car. Sorry, yeah. I left the window up, so it's died. Yeah. Sorry. Good one. I like that. Thank you. You've been waiting all day for that, haven't you? Any other questions at all? No. Okay. Well, look. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you all being here. And permission-wise, actually, if I'm allowed to do this, am I allowed to take a selfie with you all? I'd appreciate you're at work, so I don't know if that's allowed.
I'm saying it's allowed, but as long as everyone here is happy to be on social media. If you're not,
It'll be on LinkedIn, yeah. Or Duck, if you like. Is that all right?
and actually, I might take a photo of you with everybody.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, cool. All right. Are you ready, guys? So put your arms. If you enjoyed it, you can go like that. If you didn't like it, just put your hands there if you want. It's up to you, okay? All right. Are you ready? All right, try. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Oh, also, yeah, Steph, come back up here as well. You know, genuinely, I know that Suzanne mentioned this. It's an absolute pleasure. I know that if you don't know this, but Steph is going to Canada, which will be very sad. Not going to see you around our house anymore. But, you know, I think a big round of applause for Steph for organising this week. She's doing a fantastic job. Thank you.
We'll for another couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, oh, sorry, yeah, a couple of weeks, sorry, yeah.
I'm not going to Canada just yet, but here.
Yeah.
Fab, can I grab a photo of you with them?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I'll take this front seat, is that right? Can I sit in front of you? Sorry.
Does everyone want to squeeze in a little bit just so he's not sat on his own?
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Alex.
Glory next to you.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? Can we all do something fun? Anything you want. Not literally anything. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks, there. Thank you very much, guys. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Cara. Lovely. Thank you. And Raj as well. Thank you so much.
I was
Thank
saying
you.
that it's just a good start and a good message, especially
Thank you.
for
Yeah.
PHPs, especially in a hospital environment. That's a very powerful message.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind. Thank you. There's so many things, isn't there, that are completely without our control. But if we just focus on the things that we can, and yeah,
I need to
things
be
are-
every Friday when I'm ready to go home and never
Just
come back.
listen to my podcast. I'll be there in your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Carla. It's a massive shameless plug, that, isn't it? Yeah. But it's on the board. But yeah, thank you so much. Lovely to meet you both. Thank you. Hello.
If I can just say that road closed, you had the